August 13th, and I am starting my reading vlog while I buddy read My Plain Jane with Emily at Books for Life. I had never heard of this book. I actually am ashamed to say I'm one of those people who's never read Jane Eyre. I didn't know what it was about either, and until I looked it up. And so I hope that I'm not gonna miss all the subtleties and the puns that comes out of this book. I read the prologue and it sounded really funny, really witty, so I can tell that I'm gonna like the book. I'm just really hoping that I didn't need to read Jane Eyre first, which I will read afterwards, just so that I can actually grasp all the things that were discussed in this book. And Emily and I agreed to read 75 pages a day, which is totally doable. Currently my husband is walking the dogs, then we're gonna go to the gym, and then I'll get started on My Plain Jane. It is 12:49. My husband and I just got home from the gym. We had our second breakfast. We're kind of like hobbits, where we have breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, then a snack, then dinner. And I'm finally going to sit down and read the first few pages of My Plain Jane. Hopefully I get to page 75 and my buddy and I can discuss it. Day 2 of this reading vlog. I read to page 104 last night. I got a little bit ahead of my reading schedule with my reading buddy, but I just felt like I could continue, so I did. I went into this not knowing what it was about, and I don't think I'll be reading the original Jane Eyre book, because if I find My Plain Jane already kind of boring, I can imagine how boring the classic is. So it seems like it's going to pick up, but as of right now I am entertained mainly by the author's blurb in the middle of the story. I like that they're putting their 2 cents in, but as far as the actual book itself, I'm not sold on it. It's interesting, to say the least. I didn't think this was about ghosts, but apparently it is. So yeah, early today, it's 7:19 a.m. My husband and I get up so early every day. We're gonna have breakfast, we're gonna go to the gym, and then I'll read some more. It's our daily routine. Catch up with you guys later. morning, guys. It is day 3 of this reading vlog. I am halfway through with my Plain Jane, and I can't really tell whether I like it or not. I know it's supposed to be a spoof, but because I haven't read Jane Eyre, I'm having a hard time deciding what are flaws and what's, the author is making fun of Jane Eyre. So I'm really glad that my reading buddy is currently reading Jane Eyre at the same time that she's reading my Plain Jane, because she's the one that's telling me, oh no, don't worry about that. Like, in Jane Eyre, the main male interest is supposed to be horrific, ugly, and so in my Plain Jane they're making fun of that. So it's a little hard for me to know what is a spoof and what is a flaw. I guess these 3 authors are really making fun of the Victorian era society standards, and I'm having a hard time deciding whether or not I like it. But it is very comical, it is very funny, so I'll keep you guys updated on my thoughts. So, like I said this morning, day 3 of this reading vlog, I am not liking my Plain Jane. I do not understand what the hype is about. It is probably one of the most uneventful, boring plots I've ever read, and the whole ghost aspect is just really strange, and I don't understand how it has any place in this story at all. Man. A lot of people had said this was one of their favorite reads of 2018, and I just don't get it. Don't care for the characters, I don't care for the plot, it's just very frustrating. I'm probably gonna end up unhauling this book. Very certain that I will be unhauling this book. So, I only have about 100 pages left of my Plain Jane, and admittedly, I don't like this book at all. This is a very average read to me. I am very much ahead of reading schedule with my reading buddy, but honestly, this is not a book worth spending 4 days on. It's a very fast read, and I just want to be done with it because it's not worth the hype, in my opinion. I really am glad that I didn't pick this book. It came in my owl crate, and I'm glad that I didn't go out of my way to get it. I was hoping that in the second half of the book the plot would pick up and perhaps surprise me, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. Like I said before, I am shocked that people have said that this book was one of their favorite reads of 2018. I don't know if perhaps I'm just missing the point of it because I didn't read Jane Eyre, but I was under the impression that you didn't need to read Jane Eyre to appreciate this book, or at least that's how they marketed it, so yeah. We have to go to the DMV today. My husband and I have been in North Carolina for about a month, and it's that time that we have to change our licenses. So we are headed to the DMV. Hopefully it doesn't take forever, and I will be reading to pass the time. This is how fucked North Carolina's DMV is. We showed up at 8. 2 hours later, we still had a 3-hour wait. So we got up at the crack ass of dawn for no reason. But I guess a good thing came out of it. I'm almost done with that awful book. I have about 70 pages left, and I can't wait to just be done and over with it, because honestly, the hype did not it did not deserve the sort of hype that it got. It's one of the most awful books I read, and I cannot wait to do a review of it for you. So this is it. This is the actual last vlogging video I do for this book, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!